What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, man, welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast, man, where we talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this channel, I already know why you're here. You're tired of the status quo. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by women. You're tired of releasing all over your keyboards, laptops, and desktops, stovetops, blacktops, whatever it may be. You're tired of it. You're in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, man, you already know the love is real. You already know the love is real, and you already know how we get down, man. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So if you can see from the title, it's called Spilla. And today we're going to talk about a biblical character in the Bible coming from Genesis chapter 39. And his name was Onan, O-N-A-N. And so let me just give you a little backdrop on this story. His father, Judah, took a wife for his firstborn son, E-R. He took a wife for her, a wife for him. Took a wife for him. And basically what happens, this dude was really evil, talking about the firstborn son, The Bible says that he was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord couldn't take it. And so the Lord killed him because of his wickedness. And so now that left his wife, whose name was Tamar, left her a widow. So the Lord told his younger brother, Onan, he was like, listen, I need you to go into her, fulfill your brother-in-law duties, and raise up a seed for your brother an heir for his, for his possessions, for his throne. So Onan did 50% of what the Lord told him to do. He actually did go into her, took advantage of the goodies, took advantage. I mean, he was up in that thing several times. The Bible said he every time he went into her, he refused to drop his seed. Now, the reason he didn't want to drop his seed, because in that Jewish custom, the heir, the offspring, wouldn't belong to him. So she would be giving birth to his baby. He would actually be the sperm donor, but the heir, that child, would actually belong to his deceased brother, So that caused a little bit of contention in his mind. He was like, listen, I don't want to get this girl pregnant, get my brother's wife pregnant, and the child doesn't even belong to me. It belongs to my brother, and he ain't even alive. So he wasn't vibing with that, but he was vibing with the part where he actually got to go into her and do the do. You understand what I'm saying? So he enjoyed that part, but he didn't fulfill his obligation of being a brother-in-law to his brother's wife, because his brother was deceased, and God said, you have to go into her. You have to provide seed so your brother can have an heir. He was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm going to knock off. I'm going to hit it. But I'm not going to drop my seed. So every time he would go into her, he would pull out and drop the seed. He would pull out and drop the seed. Now, how many of us have done that? Raise your hand. How many of us have went into women, pulled out, didn't drop the seed? The reason we're not dropping the seed is because we only want the pleasurable part of this. We don't want anything else associated with this act. We don't want anything to come from it. So we go in and we drop this seed, but not in her. We drop it on the ground. We drop it in a sock. Drop it on her face. Anywhere other than in between her legs, because we do not want to deal with the ramifications of impregnating her and having to deal with the responsibility of what that brings. This is what Onan was thinking. He was like, man, listen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this thing, but I'm not going to drop my seed because it's not going to belong to me. I'm going to have to watch her give birth to my baby, but he's going to be the owner of it. This baby is going to inherit all of his father's stuff. He's going to be the heir to my brother's throne, and he's deceased. So no, I will not drop my seed inside of her. I'll drop it and waste it on the ground. The Bible says this was wicked in the sight of the Lord. It was wicked. He was like, yo, I told you what you needed to do. Fulfill your brother-in-law duties to the widow, to your brother's wife, so that your brother, your deceased brother, can have an heir. He's like, nah, man, I ain't doing that. Drop the seed on the ground. Do it on the ground. The Bible says that this was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. He killed him. Night, night. It's over. Guys, we're doing the same things. We're doing the same things. But because judgment is not coming speedily upon us, we continue to do it. We continue and we continue, we continue, we continue, we continue to do it. I think in Ecclesiastes, let me look it up real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 or 8. I'm going to find it for you guys. And I'm going to just explain to you this point about, why we do the evil that we do. And it's because there's no fear of judgment. There's no fear of judgment from the consequence of our actions, because it is not happening right away. So we don't fear it. But back in these times, judgment came swiftly for the most part. So it says here. Okay, here it is. So Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Verse 11, it says, when the sentence for a crime is not quickly carried out, people's hearts are filled with schemes to do wrong. When the sentence of a crime, for a crime, is not quickly carried out, people's hearts are filled with schemes to do wrong, because there's no judgment. The judgment is not coming right away. So because there's no judgment not coming right away, we tend to think, I guess, must not be too bad if nothing's going to happen to me. You know what I mean? We just get comfortable in doing wrong. We get comfortable. So we having sex with multiple women. We're doing what we do, right? And we're pulling out, boom, pulling out, dropping sheets, whatever. The point of the video being titled Seed Spilla is that we're doing this for selfish reasons. It's not just the pulling out. It's the dropping your seed on your laptops, keyboards, and desktops, dirty socks, lotion bottles. We're wasting our seed. We're wasting it. And this is sacred. This seed is sacred, man. It's sacred, but we're wasting it on things that do not bring us any type of virtue, do not bring us any type of satisfaction, any type of value, honor, respect. Doesn't bring us any of that. So if God was angry with this man for having sex with his brother's wife and pulling out and letting the seed drop on the ground, imagine how he feels about you watching two people go at it on one of these hubs for hours. You're just releasing, blowing the top off day and night, constantly thinking about and meditating on these images. How do you think he feels about that? Right? But because we don't see any imminent judgment, we tend to think it's okay. And when I say imminent judgment, I'm saying like death, like this dude got killed. because for his wickedness, before, for disobeying and not doing that. He was killed. However, there is some judgments for partaking in, the practice of constantly releasing your semen, man. Depression, anxiety, fear, erectile dysfunction, which is just an embarrassment. Now you feel shame because as a man, you're supposed to be able to get the thing up and do. But when you can't do that, you're embarrassed. You feel ashamed. You feel not like a man. But the reason you don't feel like a man is because all of the energy that you would have had to knock this thing out, you released it in a virtual matrix in your room with the door shut. That's judgment. Guys, we got to elevate. Don't release your seed, man. For vain reasons, for selfish reasons. Don't be a seed spiller. Dropping your seed on the ground, dropping your seed in socks, dropping your seed in your hands, dropping your seed on your keyboards. Don't be a seed spiller, man. Preserve your seed, because what you're saying is that your seed is not valuable. If you can just waste it on any type of surface, it's not valuable to you. You do not value your seed. And what we don't understand about the seed is it is the life source. It literally produces life. It produces life. This is the DNA. This is the light bulb. This is the light emanating from God, that when you inject this into a woman, it produces life. It produces life, man. Nothing in this world is happening without that semen. That's the most important substance in this realm, is semen. Without it, nothing is happening. That's the life force. That's the power. That's the Big Bang in that vagina. That's what it is. When that stuff comes out, it's an explosion of the most complex molecules and atoms and neutrons and protons and electrons coming together, forming a beautiful life. You don't want to waste that. You don't want to waste it. We don't really understand what we're walking around with. We're walking around with something that brings human beings into existence. We're walking around with something that brings human beings into existence, man. Protect your seed. It's sacred. Don't. And listen, we've all done it. I've told you guys numerous times. I preach to myself first. We're all in this together, man. This is encouragement. Listen, what you're holding, brother, is holy. It's sacred. There's nothing like it in the universe. It produces a whole human being, a whole life. Without that seed, you don't have any love. You don't have any hate. You don't have any emotions. You don't have anything, because everything comes from that. And that's what you're walking around with. They try to tell you all this BS. A man is nothing but a sperm donor. A man is this, a man is that, and try to do all this man hating. But you're way more than that, bro. You're way more than that. I'm telling you, what you have is valuable. What you have is valuable, man. It produces life. Some of the most beautiful minds, some of the most beautiful people who've done amazing things in this world come from your seed. And, you have people, unfortunately, people who do hideous things come from your seed. But the fact of the matter is that life in and of itself is beautiful. It's a gift from God. You are a life giver. You are a life giver, and You don't want to see that precious substance on your keyboard, in your hand. You don't want to see that precious substance, just wasted for no apparent reason, right? You want to do these type of things in the proper context in which God has placed upon us. Then you can enjoy all the different sexual activities that you and your mate partake in. But to do this outside of the context, you're being selfish. You're being like Onan. You're taking a part of the sexual act, but divorcing yourself from the responsibility of what comes with it. You're trying to sever that so you don't have to deal with those consequences. But you're not escaping. You might feel like you're escaping, but you're not escaping the implications of that. You're not escaping the implications of that, man. If you do retain your seed and you do treat your seed as sacred, you're going to experience crazy benefits from it. The Most High is not going to leave you stranded. You're going to have energy to sustain you to do whatever it is you need to do. Your emotions are going to be in check. You're gonna have a lot of abilities. A lot of things are gonna come from that. And then when it's time for you to release, then have at it, man. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing, man. Because it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. But don't be a seed spiller, brother. We've all done it. We've all did it. But let's turn and go another way. Let's turn and go another way, man. There's grace. God forgives. God helps. He gives us strength to be able to, change and go another direction. So there's grace for you. There's grace for you. There's grace for you, brother. So I just want to encourage you guys with that. Don't be a seed spiller. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next video, man. This is Hold My Nuts Podcast, man. Listen, like the video, subscribe, send it to someone you think may need to hear this information, because the more of us out there, the better, because simp culture is on the rise. We got to make sure that thing decline, man. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Peace.